Abyss Ice Gauntlet. Honestly, this is probably the best Abyss combo in the game right now. Ice Gauntlet just gives the Abyss so much ability to lock people down and make them eat your huge damage combos. The amount of lifesteal that you can get with Abyss on a build like this is crazy too. You can just turn around fights when you're losing by getting huge executes. And Ice Gauntlet not only is letting you land those executes by slowing people down, but it has crazy, I mean crazy good survivability. I even like this build when I was fighting against ranged players because you would get on top of a ranged player with it and they were screwed. They're too squishy, they can't survive your damage, and they can't escape out of your bullshit. So yeah, when I say it, I mean it. This is probably the best Abyss combo in the game right now. I have a ton of footage from this build. I played it for 2 days, and I normally will play a build like 1 day and then switch the build up, but this one was just too much fun, man. I couldn't stop playing it, and I think it's a build that I'll probably come back to and main a little bit because I liked it that much. So of course, there is a build guide at the end of the video showing you guys what I'm running here. There's a written build guide linked down below if you guys want to see that, and I think there's like 10 or 11 minutes of PvP gameplay, so let's get started. Now, this first clip here, you can see I'm already just tearing players apart on the bridge, just pushing into this enemy spawn here, and yeah, look at the survivability right off the bat on Ice Gauntlet. We get trapped by the immobilized, we get covered in just all the bullshit, and of course, Ice Gauntlet has Entomb. We can easily pop out of that and just roll away with a full stamina bar, and then turn around and just start fighting again. And in this fight here, you can see we have multiple players that are using ranged weapons as well, and the Abyss is going to do such a good job at shutting that down. We get blasted from the blunderbuss player, we just quickly put down the ice shower, and it allows us to break that easy distance and just turn around with the ice storm and work on the next target. Here, I missed the execute on him. Oh no, we even had him snared. That one, he was in range. That was 100% my fault for missing that execute. But I just keep the pressure on, and I keep kiting around. I really like this side for the outpost spawns because we have terrain to work with here. And look at that trap. Oh my god, we get 3 players with the snare there. One of them goes down to the execute, and then look at this. They hit me with the counter snare. Ice Gauntlet with its bullshit every single time. We just easily break out of there with our Entomb, and I try to reap this player. He's just out of range. And oh my god, we land a 9k execute on that poor guy as he's got like 1k health left. It's a bit of overkill, but the heal that we get from execute is always why we want to have those big hits. And now there's just 2 enemy players left. The musket player in the back, kind of annoying with the stagger there, so I quickly turn and I go on top of him. And in this fight here, oh, that's perfect. That's one thing I love with execute is you can bait out abilities with the grit on it. So great. So great, especially against something like Spear when they use Sweep. Anyway, one thing that I really like about this fight is that the enemy players had a healer this whole fight. And the damage from Abyss is so bursty, it's so strong, and especially because we kept locking the healer in the immobilizes and the snares, he was worried about his own survivability. He's not spending enough time healing the friendly players, and we just bursted them all down basically with the healer by their side. And now it's just us and the healer left, and we're going to try to give him the same treatment here. I just keep the pressure on him, and yeah, Great Axe has really good damage. Honestly, it's kind of surprising because he's standing in all his healing stuff, and we're still able to kind of chip away at his health, and now he's outside of his heals, and we just land a huge combo in between his healing circles, and he goes down. The burst is incredible. Execute being the finishing blow of every single kill in that last bit of the fight. Oh man, seriously guys, I had so many fights on this build. I got a lot of quality clips, so I hope you guys enjoy this whole video. Moving on to this one here, we already just land a beautiful execute. We take one of the players down as he's coming in, and we've got 2 enemy players left. The other guy here in the back just kind of shooting at me. I go for the gap closer. He tries to block it and end up breaking his stamina there, and he switches to his rapier. And rapier can always be a tricky weapon to fight when you're using a slower or heavier weapon. So we're just going to be kind of careful how we engage, just use lots of light and heavy attacks, and just try to bait out his moves. Oh my god, this poor guy, he cannot deal with the pressure. Another healer goes down. Now it's just me and the rapier player left here, and he is staying on that rapier. He just keeps throwing down the blood stuff on me. This patch, Blood Rapier, is really bad, especially since you have the Desert Sunrise giving not 25 but like 50% dot reduction. It's crazy. It's not supposed to work like that, but if you look in the New World database, it says it's 50% reduction, which is just I don't know, maybe somebody made a mistake somewhere, so it's working that way. Either way, the rapier player does a good job keeping himself alive up until that moment. Oh my god, and we bait him into the attack there. We catch him in the snare and then just wait for him to pop his moves. And that's, I think, how you want to use execute on a build like this. It's not about trying to chase someone down with an execute. It's about getting your opponent with it as they're coming in. Now, moving on to the next clip here. Again, we're just hanging out close by the enemy spawn. This is the way to go for the new OPR maps. If you want to look for any kind of solo or small scale fights, I think this is where you can find them, and you could just pull off to the side, drop down off the bridge, and have yourself those little engagements that isn't just a massive Zerg fest in the middle. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I know some people, they love being in on that, but we get a great combo on this guy, and look at that execute. Oh my god. The camera spin there, absolutely beautiful. We managed to finish him off, and then we just start working on the flail, sword, and shield player here. And he's trying to throw down his stuff, but I'm doing a good job kind of reading those attacks. And there he goes for his gap closer, and I go for mine. Our grit doing us a lot of service there. And then we do catch a player inside of the immobilize. He turns around with the spear, and he tries to get that heavy attack off. Thankfully, Great Axe is going to have much more range than the spear, so at this kind of distance, rangy fight, we are at an advantage for sure. And we've got an Ice Gauntlet player on top. Two more enemy players come into the fight as well. And this is just showcasing not only this combo's damage, but Ice Gauntlet's ability to stay alive. Look at that huge heal off of the execute on Abyss. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You can just turn around a bad situation. The enemy player goes down. I heal up almost to full health. But again, we just take a lot of pressure from the Fire Staff guy here. And the Spear Rapier player staying on top of me as well, doing a good job. And he does a fantastic job again, dodging that execute. That would have been a death. So really well played on his part, just good timing off of that, and he manages to keep himself alive. Then I eat his stun here, and he has actually quite a bit of damage, so we back up a little bit more and just kind of use the terrain here. I like this corridor because there's so many little bits on the side that you can use to kind of LOS the ranged attacks as you're retreating. So that works well in our favor. And then these guys continue to chase. I take quite a bit of damage from the Fire Staff guy from behind there, and the other players just kind of hitting me with their Fire Staffs as well. I think there's 2 Fire Staves and then the Spear Rapier player here. And look at that. Oh my god. Light attack into the gap closer. And we catch this guy in the snare out of his burnout. And then we just finish him off with that execute. Holy man, this build is just... it's too much fun. I don't know what to say. It is really good. It is really good. I think it is especially good on this map because this is a fairly congested map. And you can use the terrain really effectively with Ice Gauntlet. This map in general is very Ice Gauntlet friendly. And... you guys know that I have always loved playing this Ice Gauntlet, and I always found it was really powerful defensively, but in this kind of terrain, even better. Oh man, that execute, 7k execute, while he had the 35% damage reduction up. Holy crap, that boy was squishy. He goes down, and we just continue keeping the pressure on the Fire Staff guy in front of me here. We've got a very tanky guy here too. Now, I actually like this weapon combo because we do have Rend off the Ice Gauntlet, and if we catch him in the Immobilize and put the Shower down, we can do quite a bit of damage with the Ice Shower too, but it definitely takes time to work our way through the tankier players, so we have to just be patient and kind of save them for last. And oh my god, man. Oh my god, he walks right into it. He walks right into it, and we just hit him with the execute. He goes down. And then we just turn around here and start working on these guys again. I unfortunately eat that stun right in the face. And we are able to get out of it, though. Throw down our Ice Shower. And against the melees, you know, this Ice Gauntlet is just shutting down their ability to really put a ton of pressure into me. We try to put the damage into this guy here. There's the light attack into the execute. He is tanky enough. He survives. He does not go down. I think he might have got the potion before the execute landed there. But either way, we still get to take advantage of that heal, and we did do quite a bit of damage, and I think that was enough to convince him to just back out of the fight as well, which is good. And now it's just 2 players here and me. This guy goes for his riposte, and oh man, I mean, riposte can be good, but damn, sometimes it just opens you up to getting hit by combos like that. And then we just keep the pressure on him with the Ice Gauntlet. He ends up getting out of there with the bow and the rapier, though, and I just continue to stay on top of him. The ability for this freaking Great Axe to stay on top of people is just disgusting, man. Honestly, Great Axe is so good at chasing people down. And I think that's why the pairing with Ice Gauntlet is, again, really good. Because Ice Gauntlet, you know, it's kind of a defensive come-to-me weapon. And Great Axe can just chase people down. The only really come-to-me part of Great Axe we have is trying to bait people into those executes. Don't try to chase people down with execute unless they're out of stamina, because you will miss. Anyway, we are frustrating this poor guy here. I think, he's saying do something. I'm like, okay, well, we've killed a lot of your friendly players. And we just keep on trying to tank this out. And then there is the immobilize out of our Ice Gauntlet. Oh, man, we got baited into it. Well done. Here's a look at the build, guys. I like this build a lot because it is a full intel build, so we can run 50 focus, 200 con, which makes us fairly durable for light armor, especially with all the lifesteal we have. It's a very good sweet spot, I think. And then the Reaper tree on Great Axe is just basically all we focus on here. Yeah, I really like this setup. It's very offensive, very lifesteal focused, and it does quite a lot of damage with Abyss, so I really enjoy that. And then, of course, the Ice Gauntlet, we are running pretty much a support tree focused on dealing light and heavy attack damage. Because we're a full intel build, our light and heavy attacks actually can do a decent amount of damage. They're not like crazy strong or anything, but having a bit of a ranged option definitely never hurts. And then, of course, we've got all of the Ice Gauntlet bullshit here. Everything that makes Ice Gauntlet annoying, we've got there, which is perfect. And then a peek at the equipment here. Of course, we've got the Abyss with Mending Execute. You could go Crippling Reap. You could go with a different perk here if you wanted. Honestly, though, Mending Execute is crazy strong with Ice Gauntlet because you can land the executes fairly well. My Ice Gauntlet is nothing special, just focused on light and heavy attacks. And of course, we've got Healing Tomb, which is very trolly and very powerful. Vampire's Vestments brings this build not really together. I mean, you could go for a different top, but because Ice Gauntlet doesn't use a lot of mana, I really liked Vampire's Vestments. I felt like it actually worked really well. I never ran out of mana, and I got to take advantage of that lifesteal, and it was easy to keep my mana low with Abyss because we're not using a lot of mana on the Ice Gauntlet, so it keeps the Abyss damage up as well. And then we've got the rest of the gear here. We got Shirking Energy on the legs. We've got Hasted Vigor on the boots as well. And then we've got, I think, 2 pieces of Vigor on this build. Vigor plus the Desert Sunrise. Very strong this patch. I would like Crippling Reap in the gear. That's the only change I would really make. Divine Health, Shirking, and Power for a melee build like this. Very strong to have that Shirking and Power. It allows us to run the energizing stuff on our other Runeglass gems. And then I've got nature damage on the ring. Oh man, I don't have an abyssal damage ring. Honestly, this should have been Keen Awareness. This should have been Purifying Heart. Anything but nature damage. I don't know what I was doing, and we still had so much success with it. And then Endless Thirst, as you guys know, is crazy strong right now. If you're cycling between 2 healing potions, they are on a 19-second or 80% cooldown. You don't have any negative effect from the additional cooldown as long as you cycle between the 2 potions, and you get to take advantage of all that fat healing power. And then here's a look at my resists for the build. Of course, we have Elemental Focus Resist because we are running the Oak Flesh Bomb for the physical resist. And then these are the 2 potions, the Burst Regen and the regular regen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.